We live, we live, we live. Let's do it. Let's do it. Welcome back. Hustle Charge Wednesdays. I'm waiting on my brother, Keith. He said that people have spoken. We've gotten on him about his camera. All right, camera quality. Told him it's time to step it up. All right, we're on prime time now. These are prime time hours. All right, so we got to tighten up the imaging. So he should be on here in a minute. We'll see if he's got it figured out. If not, we're going to rock this thing anyway. Tonight's going to be, I don't know. Tonight's going to be a little bit of an interesting conversation. All right, we're going to be talking about some things tonight, some uncommon conversations in the industry that, a lot of people in my position aren't willing to have. All right, but we're willing to have them tonight. We're going to keep it real. We're going to talk about some very, very interesting things as it pertains to gurus, right? Like, what is somebody tell me even, like, what is a guru? I hear this frame of, or this terminology all the time. Chris, you're a guru. People call me a guru now. Maybe you guys think I'm a guru. How do you guys define? Somebody tell me that's watching right now, how do you even define? Somebody said they thought Keith was using an Android, man. They thought he was using an Android. Let's go, man. Nah, he might have been on a droid, man. He might have been on a droid. What is... Hold on. All right, there we go. Hey, Keith, I'm already live, man. We're already in here live. We're rocking and rolling. All right, we in here today. So I'm going to reset. What do y'all saying on Clubhouse? Reset the room. All right, we're going to reset the room. You know what the fun part about this is, Keith?
What's that?
You got some echo on your end, but we'll work through it. You might got to go to settings and echo cancellation. But, neither one of us we're not computer guys or internet guys, right?
We're going to get it right.
So we're working on, we got to figure this whole tech piece out. But we don't want to, they say you look, yeah, they say you look like you got money now, man. You like you got some money now, man.
I'm trying to get some, man. We're trying to get this right, man. We're going to get this right real quick. We got something to talk about.
We do, man. So, oh, you know what it is? Oh, your IP. Or your camera echo.
Yeah, that's probably that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, because I turned echo cancellation.
Hey, my guy Catfish Sandwich, man. I remember you, man. It was good. I ain't been on here in a while, man. I had to pop back out. It's good to see you.
Yeah, you should be good now. Yeah, I think that's why, just because of the IG.
All right, why don't we see if you can kill the IG then? Because it's coming through pretty heavy. I'm sure people can hear it too.
Yes.
What about now?
Yeah, it's still there. I don't know if it's another camera or what.
All right, now so
give it a second.
Is it doing it now?
Yeah, it's not as bad though. Not as bad.
Yeah, we just turned the volume down.
Cool.
So yes,
all right. Yeah, man. So check this out. Oh, it's probably the background, the feedback kicking from the IG Live. Cool. Yo, Keith, first and foremost, man, can I say something?
Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
You look great, man. You look amazing, brother. You look amazing, man.
Hey,
all right,
man,
I see
man, we just rapping a little bit. That's it, man.
No doubt. Listen, could you do this for me, man? So they said lower the volume all the way down on whatever other app you got. So make it like go all the way down. That should help. All right, I'm pouring up.
Yeah.
All right. I'm pouring up tonight. This stuff is quality, man. All right, this is Uncle Nearest. Black-owned brand right here. If y'all haven't tapped in on this yet, man, I'm telling you, tap in on it. Y'all do me a favor. We're going to have an interesting conversation tonight. All right, I want y'all to send this out to whoever you need to send it out to. This might be This might be the realest guru conversation ever. All right. We're going to really tap in on it tonight.
Facts.
And have some real conversations around kind of what this guru industry looks like. I'm getting a ton of feedback on your end, Keith.
So it's definitely on my end.
Yeah. See it. How about you leave out of the stream and come back?
That's what I'm about to do. Yep.
All right, cool. Guys, we're not tech support. Maybe that's what we need on the Hustle Charge team. Perhaps. All right. Perhaps we need tech support. Maybe we need an IT specialist. All right, on the Hustle Charge team, so we could get that together. Now we got the camera quality there, so y'all show Keith some love on the camera quality. Now we gotta get the sound straight. All right, so we're gonna let him work on that. But I mean, does my guy not look good there? I mean, he's got it together. All right, he's got his camera. He's got his camera now popping. He's sitting back. It looks like almost like a TV reporter. I love to see it. All right, I love to see it. Levon, what up, man? Hope you're doing well, my brother. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we need Mike. We need Mike. All right. But tonight's gonna be dope because we're gonna talk about what nobody that does what we do wants to talk about. Nobody. We're going to have a vulnerable conversation. We're going to talk about our businesses, what we do in our businesses. We're going to talk about just how does internet marketing, sales and marketing, how does it kind of function? Keith, you back with me?
Oh, we're still doing it.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to jump into it. I'm going to let Keith kind of get into the conversation once he gets it together. All right, so we can kind of start, really kind of just talking about this and having a conversation. All right. So, if you've ever bought a course product before, whether it's my course, anybody's course, doesn't have to be mine, doesn't have to be Keith's. If you've purchased a course before, put a 1 in the comments for me. I'm curious. If you've ever purchased a course, put a 1 in the comments for me. I don't care if you spent $5 on it or $5,000 on it, $50,000. Who in here has actually went and bought a course from somebody before? I'm curious to see that. Because here's the deal. What we're looking to do here tonight is we want to arm you guys with the information to really kind of truly understand how internet marketing works, so that you can really kind of determine, I guess really, who do you want to learn from? What is it that you want to learn? And a lot of you guys don't understand the marketing side of what we do. The gurus. I struggled with that title for a long time. Shout out to my boy Nazar. He says, look, I'm not a guru, I'm a guru because I do this business. I feel the same way. I do this business. But there's a lot of people who sell information and even sell information successfully. Let's just be frank, right? They've never even done the business themselves, or they've only done it a time or two. We have a lot of people out here that think that they don't need to purchase a course from anybody, that they can go to, what do you guys call it, right? YouTube University or Facebook groups and things of that nature, and really kind of get, everything they need to be successful in this business. I don't know that I believe that, but I think it warrants kind of having a conversation and seeing, really what's most beneficial at the end of the day to you guys as the people, right? So one of the things that we talked about when Keith and I were kind of talking about even just kind of getting this together tonight and kind of the conversation we wanted to have, and I know Keith will be back with us when he can, but, how do you define sales versus marketing? All right. So again, how do you define sales versus market? All right. Keith, I know you stressed. All right, you got that.
We good, man. We good, man. We good money, man. We had to, troubleshoot a couple things. You know what I mean?
No doubt. All Let's see if we can get it rolling. And you guys in the audience, because if you can, I will. All right. Let's see. Keith, I want to ask you a question.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it.
Hey, Keith, matter of fact, mute your mic real quick.
Yep.
All right, so let's see if there's still an echo. All right, no echo. All right, so I'm going to mute mine while you talk, and let's see if it still does it.
Yo. Any echo?
Here's how we'll do it today.
Yep.
We'll get our tech support together. So when I'm talking, you when you're talking, on mute. Because Keith, here's the thing, man. You gotta know how to pivot. All right, you gotta know how to pivot and rock and roll. All right, so we'll rock with it and get it done. So Keith, here's the thing, man. I'm talking about what we want to talk about today, which is, how do we arm people who will see this now in the future, whenever, with the ability to kind of differentiate what is internet marketing and how do you determine who's a good coach, who's a good mentor for whatever you want to learn about, right? So this isn't just about real estate. I know for myself, and I want to hear what Keith has to say as well, but how do we really determine what we want to spend money on? How do we want to, determine if we want to, like, if I want to learn something right now, all right, Keith, my first instinct is to go buy a course. What's your thoughts on that? I'm gonna jump on mute. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think, man, for me, knowing what I know now, being in this game for almost 6 years now, I feel like that one of the only shortcuts to success is you buying some type of course, getting some type of mentorship, so that way that you don't got to make the same type of mistakes that we had to make. But I think the biggest problem is most people scared to take that risk. And you got to realize, man, the biggest risk is not taking the risk at all. I think a lot of people just don't understand that. And I think that's why we got to the place that we're at right now, because that's something that we understand. The biggest risk is not taking no risk at all. What you think about that, Chris?
Yes, I do agree with you that. So here's the thing, man. Unfortunately, a culture has been created, and I don't even know where this actually started. That's kind of the weird thing. But this thought process has been created where, hey, again, I don't need to learn from somebody. I can go on YouTube and learn from everybody. I can jump into all these different Facebook groups. And I highly disagree with that. I know that you kind of highly disagree with that. And so what I want to do tonight is really kind of get in the meat of our thoughts on that and really let the people get to a point where they can kind of really figure out what makes the most sense for them across any industry. If you're trying to learn how to fix your credit, if you're trying to learn about real estate wholesaling or fixing and flipping or the Bird or Turo or Airbnb or, how to do family banking, whatever the case might be, it's important, I think, for people to understand what different things mean, right? So when we talk about sales versus marketing, or what is sales and marketing, how would you even define those two things? Like, what's sales and marketing to you? What's the difference?
Yeah, so the difference between sales and marketing is, to me, marketing is it's something that you can put yourself out there. As far as if you're doing anything online, if you're doing anything as far as teaching or anything like that, it's a way to get your product out there. It's a way to get yourself out there. That's marketing. Whatever you got going on. If you're in real estate, marketing is you might be sending out a direct mail piece. You may be making some cold calls or something like that. Marketing, to me, is a tool to get you in front of the people that you need to get to so you can make the sales. Sales is pretty much is how you be able to, close on the product or close on the person that you're talking to. So you got to have both of them. I know some people be like, do I need marketing more? Do I need sales more? But to me, it kind of go together. You know what I mean? You can't, if you market without sales, guess what? You still ain't gonna make no money. Now, if you only want to do sales, without the marketing, guess what? You still ain't gonna make no money. So you got to be able to put both of them together. To me, what you think about that, Chris?
Yeah, man, I agree with you in full on that. You know, so to me, right, you know, marketing is bringing awareness to something, whether it's a brand, a product, a service. You're marketing to bring awareness to that thing. All right. Selling to me is is a transaction. I'm trying to complete a transaction. I'm trying to sell you on why this product, you know, service or what have you works. And so I think a lot of people kind of merge these two things together and they treat them like they're, you know, the same things, you know, when in reality, a lot of times, you know, people confuse that and they're kind of really not truly the same thing. So, you know, you and I have been students before, right? I've been a student. You've been a student. You know, what are and Keith, let me ask you a question, man. You got a glass? You drink with me tonight?
Hey man, listen, man. I got the Jack Daniels right now, man. You can hear the ice in the cup right here, man. You know what I mean? We gotta talk about it, man. We gotta talk about it.
Yeah, look. So that's when you know it's getting real. When you get that ice rattle in your cup, that's how you know you activating. That's how I'm with you. I'm with you. So, because we want to keep it all the way real for the people tonight. All right. What are some things in this guru industry that you need to look for? How do you vet somebody? How do you even know if somebody can help you with what you need help with? Right. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, I want to learn something. You know, how do I even know that I should trust this person? I don't even want to use the word trust yet. How do I vet this person, even know that whatever they're selling can help me?
I mean, I only can speak from experience, man. I mean, I didn't heard this. I mean, I talk to, some of my guys about this question all the time, and I think that the real answer is I'm gonna speak from how I am and what I do and what I believe in. I mean, if I choose a mentor, right? Or if I choose to buy somebody course, me personally, I want to buy from somebody who I know who done been through what the product teaches, if that makes sense. Now, a lot of people say, you know what? I'm cool with the student results, which is not a bad thing, because to me, that's another part of it. I want to see, have you done what you say you're doing, and what is your results from your students? Those two things right there is very important to me. You know what I mean? Because you got to think about it like this. If you haven't done, let's, for instance, like real estate, if you haven't really flipped the property and you teaching people how to flip properties, I mean, what do we call that part of it right there, though? I'm not gonna feel comfortable spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars if I haven't done, or if the person that I'm looking to spend it with, they haven't never done that. To me, that don't make no sense. What you think, Chris?
Man, so here's the thing. I've struggled with this. I really have. So here's the deal, bro. So, I've been in business 11 years, right? I didn't start selling a product until 2 years ago, right? So like 9 years in the game, 10 years in the game, I started selling a product. I got friends. I know people who, they may not have done this business for the past 5 years. So do I think what they sell, can you learn from it? I do. But I also don't. All right. And I want to kind of explain that real fast.
Explain that.
So here's the thing, right? Like if I want to learn from somebody who hasn't done what I'm trying to learn how to do, let's just say they haven't done it for 5 years. I teach real estate wholesaling, for example. All right. Now, wholesaling strategies from 5 years ago still work today. They do still work. I can admit that, right? They do still work today. So could somebody buy a 5-year-old course and make money from it? Yes. But also on the flip side, more importantly, in my opinion, you're not able to stay up to date on what tools and systems are working now, what strategies are working now. My strategy in my personal business in 2021 does not look exactly how it looked last year. Right. And so, somebody that hasn't done this for years, they're not in a space where they can kind of even keep you, up to date on what, is working and isn't working. So, one thing I think that's important is kind of almost like designating, how do I identify red flags? Because I think something that's important, Keith, is we're in a space right now, and this is because of COVID, man. Me and you had a really long talk the other week and had this kind of conversation. Because of COVID, the internet is kind of taken over. Everybody's got a camera. Like, how do you figure out who's who, man? Like, that's what I'm trying to really figure out tonight.
I think that, I look at it like this, right? I look at it a couple different ways. You know what I mean? This is the reality of it. This is the crazy part about it. You got people out here who really do the business, but guess what? They may have a hard time with teaching the business to somebody else for them to get results. But then the tricky part is you got people out here who really don't do the business, but damn, they're some hell of a teachers. So it's like, in that instance, I'm gonna toss it back to you real quick. What are you supposed to do?
Man, so that's tough. All right, so look, when you said that, the first thought in my mind was literally, well, wait a second. If we really gonna talk about this tonight, I guess you could really be a great marketer and you could have done the business. Here's the thing, like I just thought about when you said this, somebody could have even done the business before. Does that make them a good teacher? And so even in our pre-show conversation about this, I didn't even think about this when we talked about it. Let's for a second forget being a good marketer or being good at sales. How do you know you can find somebody that can teach you?
I think that, man, and I think it goes back to, and that's why I said, of course you want the results of the person that's actually teaching you whatever product it is, whatever course that it is, whatever class that it is, right? But I think a big aspect, especially these days, we got to talk about these days. A lot of people want to see what's going on with your students, man. How many checks your students cashing? How many lives are you really changing? How many of their life have changed? How many of life did they change in their family? So if your students got those, results, that's where it throw a wrench in the whole situation, because you got to think about it. You got this person over here who may be doing the business, but damn, they suck at teaching. It's kind of like a basketball player. Michael Jordan, he was the greatest of all time, in my opinion. But Mike wasn't the best coach, though. Mike wasn't the best coach. Then you got Phil Jackson, who actually won 2 rings with the New York Knicks in the 70s. And look how many rings he got, but he wasn't the best basketball player. So I think that if somebody want to argue from that standpoint, then you really got to take a close look at it. You know what I mean? What you think about that?
All right, so I feel you and I agree with you, but all right, here's the problem though. Here's the problem. Because we got to be transparent tonight. So the danger, I think, in all of this, and I've had to have this conversation recently, is like how does perception impact all this? Because like I just said a minute ago, right, we're in the digital age, we're in a digital space at the end of the day. And I bump into people all the time. I remember when I first really started getting into real estate and started investing, I would bump into people I grew up with, or I'd bump into people I used to work with, and they would make comments, right? They'd be like, hey, like they would think I was like a real estate agent. Like that was their perception, right? Their perception was, oh, he's posting pictures around these houses and he's doing this and doing that. But to them, their perception was that I was a real estate agent. How does perception impact the things that we're talking about, this coaching business, this coaching industry, marketing? Because I think the problem, Keith, is we have a large amount of people that are being marketed to and sold to, and their perception is, only what they can really kind of see up front. So where does perception fit into all of this? And even kind of knowing how to know what you're even looking at, I guess, at the end of the day. I mean, what would you say about that?
I think, nowadays, more than ever, I mean, if somebody, is looking at a guru or, online marketer, whatever you're talking about, right? Whatever you're talking about, I think that, these days, you can get you can rent out, you can even rent out the Lambo. You don't even got to own the Lambo no more. You don't even got to, you might throw a Rolex on, some ice on, and they looking at you like, oh man, I want to go with his program. That's how crazy it is now. That's how crazy. That's how you can trick somebody easy now. But I'm gonna tell you what my problem come in at, right? People look at the person who may have a certain type of lifestyle. They look at them different than somebody who really doing it. You can have a person who ain't doing it, who got a certain type of lifestyle and may be a good teacher, but what about the person that's really putting in the work? May still be a good teacher, but he don't even like to drive Lambos. They don't get as much love. What you think about that?
I mean, here's the thing with this though. Like, I feel that this is tough, man, because I can speak for my audience, right? My audience is predominantly African American. It's not the audience I chose, right? It's the audience that chose me. That's what I always used to say when I first got started. And so culturally, those are the things that appeal to us. Those are the things that make us want to identify success, right? And I've always been wondering, and I'm curious about this. I'd love to hear from people in the comments too. Why do we, as people, kind of identify, oh, this person has a Lambo, or this person's done this, or they got a Rolls Royce, or I saw pictures of them in a mansion? Like, how did we get there? I think is a real fair question, because I know people that rent. I don't think people know how marketing works, right? Because again, marketing is to bring awareness. So here's the deal, man. Like, I know people that have rented a private jet, not for a flight, but for a photo shoot. And how perception works is, you don't know if I flew anywhere or not. Like, you remember, Keith, the Bow Wow situation a couple years ago, where he said he was on the PJ. Next thing you know, they catch him headed to NY commercial, right? That's perception. If that person never saw him in commercial and took that photo, everybody would just be here to assume that he flew private. Like, how does that work?
So I'm thinking of it like this, as you talking, I'm really thinking, I guess you got to kind of look at it like this, right? And, a little while ago, I wouldn't have felt the same way. I wouldn't have looked at it the same way. I think that because, and this sounds crazy, it's like if somebody has a tribe or they got a community, right? And their students are getting real results, especially in 2021 going into 2022. For one, the game done changed already. If somebody tribe is getting results, I think that you can't hate on that. You can't hate on that because, you can say they may not know they shit like a person who may be doing it full time know it. But what about the results though? And I didn't used to be like that though. But a teacher's job is to make sure the students learn. So a person who may not be doing the business can argue, what about the results of the people? Because that's the world that they're seeing right now.
I feel you. I do feel you. But I still struggle with this because I think it's about the people first, and I do think it's about the results first. So, but I think to get to the point of results, it's still in the beginning, regardless. If you haven't done the business or don't have really any experience doing the business, it's really still rooted. And like, if we're just going to be real, right? Like, it's still rooted in being capped, because you had to be capped to start it, bro. Like, are people getting results now? Sure. But are as many people getting results as there could be? Like, there's like, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I've had almost 2,000 students. Like, I've seen a lot of things in the past year and a half. There's some people, bro, that are gonna get results regardless. I like those people are always going to be fun. They just got that dog in them. They're going to be smooth. What about the people that really need to be built up, that really need their mindset tweaked, that really need some game kind of step by step to get to that point of being able to get things done? I don't know what it means then. So like, I feel you on the results piece, and I agree with you about that. Hey, if you're getting people results and moving the culture forward, that does mean something. That means a lot in reality. But at the same time, if that person even took some time to learn more about the strategies around the business they're talking about, could they even impact more lives? And I think
I want to say this, man. Now I want to ask you a question, actually, because I got a good question. I want to hear your opinion on this. For the gurus who are not really doing the business, should they tell their community or tell their tribe that they're not doing the business? Or should they tell the people, listen, I'm not doing the business. Hey, but listen, here go my people's results. Should it work that way? Because it's like what you just said, though. If you're not really doing it and you portraying it that something works, is that cap? Or it's not cap? I want to know.
Man, all right, so that wasn't the pre-show conversation either. All right, so that's a good question right there. It's a good question. Man, listen, bro. I think that, yeah, I kind of feel like it is. I kind of feel like it is. But here's the deal. I would put a lot of respect on somebody that isn't doing this business, that's not fearful of saying that to their students, right? Because here's the thing. You know, I still have my business, right, that I teach on. And this is where people don't want to be honest. All right. So like my online business now, my brand, my coaching program, you know, that's a 7-figure business now. And in all actuality, that business, if we're going to be all the way real tonight, that business could grow faster and quicker than a real estate business. That is the truth. All right. And so I think, and I'm not there yet, but I think people get to a crossroads point of, man, I've got this online brand, I've got this online business that's making me 7 figures, but it could make me multiple 7 figures, or it could make me whatever. And I can't get there that fast in a real estate business. I can see now, because now I'm in it. Like I'm doing it myself now. So now I can see where somebody can say, hey, this business makes a lot more sense. Let me focus some energy and effort on that. But I do think if you are going to do that, I think it's okay. But I think people deserve transparency first. I don't think it would be fair or make sense to make your students or people buying your product or service think you're doing things that you're not. I think there's space in this industry and business, or any industry, to just tell people the truth. I mean, that's what I would say.
I would say this, man. I agree with a lot of you saying, right? But this one thing that I did think about is that, you know, I put in my mind, like, at some point, we know that the online business, we already know it can take off quicker than the real estate business, right? It take a lot more work doing real estate than it probably, you know, ever will do online, right? But one thing I always think about is this: when it's all said and done, if you couldn't move no more, couldn't get out of bed ever again, would you rather have an online business that's making more money, or would you have a real estate business that have an actual asset at the end of the day? Because the thing about online, I think it's a great method, of course, if you plan on buying hard assets with it that can possibly, you know, leave something to your children. But my question is, can you leave the online business to your kids? That's the question.
Yeah, so here's the crazy part about what we're talking about right now. I've said a lot of what you just said to people around me before. I never said it to you directly because we both still do this. But I've had that exact conversation with people that I know. And what I mean by that is, here's what I think people don't understand the concept of. In life, you have active income and you have passive income. There are only two types of income to have. I think an internet business, my internet business, any internet business, unless it's a service or product, but just coaching and teaching people something, that's not passive. It's active income, right? And so I think where a disconnect does kind of start to take place is, yes, you can make millions of dollars fast from a coaching business or course business or whatever. But I mean, Facebook just announced last week, right, that they're starting the metaverse. We have no idea what that's going to look like. We don't know what those ads are going to look like. We don't know what they're going to cost. We don't know anything about that. So if you have a business that's dependent on other businesses that you have no control of how they adjust. See, like if I go buy a house, bro, like I bought a couple of houses today. If I bought the houses I bought today, I know the purpose they're going to serve for quite some time. You know, how I get students or how I market my products or services or whatever, I don't really have control over how that changes. So it is kind of, I don't want to say upsetting because it's not my shit. So it is what it is. But when I see people who are making all this money online that never drive it back into any assets at all, it's just like, oh, I made $3 million this year online or $5 million, $10 million this year online. And then you build a lifestyle around that active online income. When in reality, you could park that in money market accounts. You can park that in, whole life insurance policy account. Like there's things that you could do with that, stock accounts. Like, I've got a brokerage account for it. Like you could do all these different things. So yeah, I feel you, bro. Like, I don't know. Like why? That's a really great question in reality. People make money online. Why would Keith then somebody make money online and build their entire life around that online income, online money? You're making money online. Is there like this thought that it's there forever? Like, what's that? What is it? What is it?
I think, man, for me, first and foremost, I've never, started a product or start teaching anything without the people telling me, hey, man, we want this. Hey, we need you to tell me about that. I need you to put this course. I've never done it ever in my life. Never. But here's the thing, man. It's something about when someone is reaching out to you and they telling you, man, you helped me make my first 100K. Man, you helped me get my first deal. Just the thought of that, I think that not only do that change somebody else's life, but internally, shit, that changed my life. And to this day, it changed my life. Anytime somebody come to me about some type of testimonial, that always make my day, always. So it's like, if I give that up, at this point, it's like giving a part of me up because I like to help the people. I love to help the people. If I just be, just in my real estate business, I say, forget everybody, go cold turkey. I'm going to get all this money by myself. I ain't going to share none of the secrets. I ain't going to share none of the game. It's like my man Money Mitch said. Is the people still going to love me? I'm still going to be adding value? We got to keep it real, man. What you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, of course, right? Like we always got to add value. We always got to serve people first. That's a conversation I try to emphasize really all the time, how important it is to be of service. So here's the disconnect I think a lot of people online have. Do I make money online? Sure. Right. It's a business for me at this point, right? Like I have an online business, right? So I don't even like saying I make money online. I have a business that makes money online in reality. But literally look, like at the very end of the day, I also think and feel and believe, I know that you can be purposeful and you can be profitable at the same time. You don't have to just choose profitable. I think that's a problem a lot of people have. They think and feel that they just have to choose profits all the time. I think you can impact people's lives. I think you can create change and spark change. I think you can leave legacy and impact. I think you can truly help people behind you and make money doing it. And I don't see anything wrong with that. So, you know, I bump into people sometimes. They're like, oh, you making all this money online now and da 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 da. And it's like, yeah, but I'm putting the people first every time. I could make more. And here's the funny part. I know that you could be making more because we've had these conversations before. So we're going to go off script a little bit. We don't got a script anyway. All right. But what makes you, because people, here's what I hear all the time. People reach out to me in my DMs, different places, and they say all the time, like you and Diddy, I see my guy right here said, Diddy a chosen one. I agree with that. I think that some people are placed here to deliver messages. I feel like God, whoever you believe in, doesn't matter. I respect all religions. We're placed here to deliver messages. Now, I see us. I think that's how we identify with each other so much and build a relationship and a bond. I think we see ourselves and feel that we're these types of people. Like, what is the motivation behind being purposeful? Like, what motivates you to want to impact and change lives and want to help people out? Really, really giving more of yourself sometimes than we give to our own friends, our own families, our own social circles. Sometimes, honestly, Keith, we're going to be all the way real tonight. Sometimes more than we give to our own businesses. Right? Like, what motivates and inspires that?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think that, one of the things I had to master, a long time ago is that, you got to master the art of just, putting yourself in other people's shoes, right? I feel like that when I was going through, when I was sleeping on the box spring, when I sold all my furniture, couches, when I sold all my clothes, washing machine, dryer, almost even sold my apartment complex at the time, refrigerator, right? I didn't know at that time that I was going through everything I was going through because I was going to have to help somebody else get through that same situation. The same thing. It's people out here, and people don't like to admit it these days. Remember, we online, everybody rich now. Everybody rich online. Don't nobody go through problems no more. We live in the times now, don't nobody struggle no more, right? Don't nobody struggle no more. But to my people who really do struggle, who really is going through something, who really is trying to get off that 9 to 5, or if they still want to keep that 9 to 5, how to start that side business. Some people out here got eviction notices right now. Today is the 3rd. I guarantee somebody watching right now probably can't even take care of that rent. So it's like if I'm over here making 6 figures a month, which I've been doing since 2018, if I'm over here doing that, knowing somebody can't pay their bills, but they eager to learn, who is me to not put everything on the line for them? Give them an outlet, give them a way. Everybody learn different. Some people, guess what? Some people don't need that much help. They can watch YouTube and get it going. But we can't judge the people who really do need help because everybody learn different. Just like somebody may need to see some visual, somebody needs somebody to hold their hand. So I just feel like if I just stayed in my corner, stayed in my hole, make all this money, and I didn't want to help the people that really need it, I don't care what nobody say. I feel like that's selfish. I feel like the biggest rule to success, once you start making it, is you got to reach back and you got to give back. I feel like that's the law.
Yeah, bro. So here's the deal, man. I've told this story like a couple of times, so I'm going to try to say it really quick. I heard a preacher preach once. Actually, it was Al Sharpton, actually. And I'm not a big Al Sharpton fan at any stretch. The day he came and spoke at our church, my mom was pulling me and pushing me like, hey, you got to come. You got to come. Morning of, I finally decided to go show up. And Keith, we talked about some spiritual conversations before. Look, bro, I'm from the South, man. Sometimes you go to church, man. How black preachers is, man. You think he really talking to you, right? It could be 500 people in the church and the whole sermon. You like, man, like you hit me today, like Jesus, right? And I really felt like Al Sharpton was talking to me that day, bro. And one of the things that he said, man, is he said that a big problem with us is grow up in certain communities. We come from certain struggles, or our families come from certain communities. Our families come from certain struggles. And we get just a little bit. And the first thing we always decide to do is run as far from where we came from. To get as far from where we came from. We want to go buy the nice big house. We want to go buy that Mercedes that we always said we wanted to buy when we were growing up, and this, that, and the third. And the last thing we ever forget to do, he said, is to turn back around and reach back and grab somebody else. So the last thing we always think about doing is reaching back and going back and getting somebody else. And I learned from that sermon that day, man, is like there's a certain integrity, there's a certain importance that comes with getting somewhere faster than somebody else. It don't mean that I can run better. It doesn't mean that I'm special. It doesn't mean anything. Maybe the ball just bounced one way for me that it didn't bounce for somebody else. That's how life really kind of works, right? Is that it just takes one thing, one encounter, one opportunity just to change your entire trajectory, right? And that really kind of impacted me, bro, and stuck with me a lot. And that's what motivates me on a daily basis to reach my hand back, turn all the way around, and go get other people and bring them with me. And I know you're a man that stands on that as well. So I guess that kind of leads me to a question of why is it important, or is it important? I don't know if it is or not, actually. But is it important, or why is it important that before you even make a course or a product, like that you've done it yourself? Like, do you need to be successful, in doing what you're doing, bro? Like, why is that important to you? Like, is it not? Like, what's your thought?
I told somebody yesterday, I actually was speaking, well, actually it was Monday. I was speaking to a group of people, shout out to my guy, Bobby Richardson, man, who teaches credit. And one of his students asked if they can get my mentorship, right? Which costs thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm going to be transparent about that. But I told this person who never done a deal ever before, they've never, ever done a deal. I said, guess what? You can't join my mentorship program because you haven't even took the first step to go even get your own deal. Why would you trust me and you ain't even tried? Why would you trust me to guide you and you ain't even tried to get no results yourself? You ain't even tried to have no success yourself. So what I could be telling you could be anything. But one thing about if you're going to take action, you might not know everything, but at least you've done something. You know what it looked like. You know what it feel like. You know what getting a deal feel like. You know what making a call feel like. If you ain't done it yourself, I don't even want you I don't even want to be your mentor. Because that's what I did though. You know what I mean? I was big on taking action. Taking action as much as I could till I exalted everything that I knew. So I exalted every option that I had. Only time I like to get a mentor is if I'm just stuck, if I can't figure it out. So I tell everybody that, man, before you start paying for stuff, man, take action. Take action. Take a risk. If you take a risk, guess what? It ain't gonna do nothing but make your story better. And then if you do try to get a mentor and you haven't took no action, and when you get the mentor, you might pay and it don't work. Now you're talking about the mentor didn't give you what they were supposed to give you. Now you want to blame the mentor for you not getting the deal when really it's you. You the one need to get up and go get a deal. You can't blame the mentor for everything. The mentor can't take action for you. It's like a basketball coach. I can tell you how to run every play in the book, but if you can't go out there and execute yourself, guess what? Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, bro, and that's why I always say too, man. It's like, what is that saying? It's like you can teach a man to fish, or you give a man a fish, you can feed him for a day, or you teach a man to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime, right? I disagree with that. I do disagree with that. I think everybody's looking for somebody to give them a fish, right? Everybody's always looking for somebody to give them something without any effort behind it. My thought process is always kind of simple, right? It's like, look, I'm not going to give you a fish and I'm going to teach you how to fish, but how I'm going to teach you how to fish is I'm going to come fish by standing beside you. I'm going to come fish beside you. That's how you teach somebody how to fish for a lifetime. That's how you teach somebody to never go hungry. Hey, I'm going to come stand side by side. I'm going to do what I'm showing you. I'm doing that now, right? I'm going to be patient. I'm going to be here, and I want to make sure that you learn how to fish. But it's one thing for me to say it to you, right? Like, You go to driving school, bro. I remember when I got my license, you got the driver right beside you. They driving with you. I got to watch them drive some before I can even take that wheel. If I want to go get a pilot license and be a pilot, I got to go fly with an instructor. I got to fly beside them. I got to co-pilot with them. That's how you really learn how to eat. You know, I think that's something that's important to understand. So I'm definitely with you on that, bro. And I think an interesting question would be, I want to know your maybe thoughts or opinions on, because we actually have two different types of products, right? You know, I've got more of a community. You know, you've got a course, right, and a coaching platform. What's pros and cons of that? Because I think they both serve purposes. What's your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that both of them definitely serve its purpose, right? One of the best things that I ever done was create my sales course. That was one of the best things I ever done because, and also not even just create the course, but make it to a price, or make it a price that people can afford it, right? The good thing I like about it is it was great. I feel like it went platinum in the real estate streets. Everybody got the course. Everybody you could think of, any guru, any company, 9 times out of 10, they got the course, right? But you know, one thing that I feel like that kind of go to your point that you got that I didn't do is build a community. Because I'm touching the people. Don't get me wrong. A great course can touch the people. But a community can lead the people. And that's one thing I like about the community. A course is great. If you want to learn, you want to study, you want to give to somebody else for them to study, you can get the results. That's great. But what about if that person, they may have a question? They may want to ask me, yo, Diddy, what about this video number 2? What about that video? I wanted to know what you meant by that. That's what the community is for. Because now, not only you can get taught, but you can have the Q&A sessions. You can have like-minded people around you. You can have somebody just like my guy Chris or myself to be able to lead you and bring you into our world. So don't get me wrong. Both of them has its pros, but at the same time, both of them have its cons. Because one thing about the community, guess what? It's good for that moment, but you still got to go study after that. That course, you could be in the bed at 2, 3 in the morning watching it, waking up watching it. What if that community at that time, you can't do that? I feel like you need both, man. I'm sorry. Both of them to me, man. What you think?
Nah, so look, bro, I agree with you, man. It's funny you said that, right? So like when I started my community, initially it was only a community. Right? Like I just created a community. There wasn't a course attached to it or anything. And then I started kind of, I guess, really fast, man, like within a month or two, probably a couple months, I realized literally what you just said, right? Well, it's like, hey, like, I don't want them to have this dependency full time on the community. The community needs to be a place of support. The community needs to be a place of accountability. It needs to be a place of being uplifted, you know, not just only a learning mechanism, you know? So what I ended up doing was I ended up then creating a course, right? So then I ended up creating a course, went platinum like yours. That's why you my guy, right? Created a course and then attached it to the community. And so now what I have is a course and a community together. And, you know, I think that's been super dope. I think that's been a really unique experience. I think it's had its challenges. I've had some challenges here in the last few days, honestly, and in my community. And I think that's part of it. Now, I remember, you know, honestly, I'll just be real. Like in the past few days, I've been frustrated with the community, not with the people in it, but just with the energy, the effort that you have to extend to fulfill a community. You know, when it's a course, you know, I can turn that light off. I can turn that ad on. I can do this, I can do that, and I can keep it pumping, right? With the community, man, I'm like, I'm vested, like I'm in it. Like I've got attachments to people in a sense. I've got these relationships. I'm vested in people's stories and what happens to them. I care about their families. I care about their spouses, their kids. I see them on social media and I keep up with what's going on with them. They don't know that. But you can't help but care about people when you build a community in that aspect. So, but I think just having a course serves its purpose. So like I buy courses all the time. I'm in some communities, but I'm in courses. And so for me, kind of almost what you said, a course, I think for me kind of attaches to like, hey, I've already got knowledge on this topic or subject. What I'm going to now do is go get a course to build on that knowledge. You know, truthfully, bro, like I put a community together and I don't know anybody in our space that had done it before I did it. And not to say that somebody hasn't, just that I don't know, but I did it because I came up on BiggerPockets. Right? Like when I first got into this business, I was like hardcore BiggerPockets. I used to read it all day, every single day, like religiously all the time. And it had a sense of community, but not fully. But I know how much I leaned on that in order to learn and build. So I think both make sense. But I will say, bro, because you my brother, a sales community would be dope. Like if you, we might got to turn that up. A sales community, because with sales, bro, what the thing with the community is that, and you said this too, see, people got to be able to connect the dots, right? People got to be able to connect the dots. The community can create that connectivity. Of course, I could be left still having, like you said, I could still be left having questions. So I do think for people that have less experience or less exposure to a business, I think a community could really kind of, help structure and build that. But I think there's a place for both. But I do, man, I'm just gonna be honest because you're my guy. I do think a sales community, I know we haven't talked about this, but I do think a sales community would be lit. And we love you at the U. All right. We know we love you in the U as well.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I think that, I definitely, that's one of my, that's on the goals list for 2022. The goal is very clear, is I want to start the largest real estate sales community in the entire in the industries, period, though, because I want people to know how to close these deals. Because yeah, you can do the marketing, you can have the systems, but you still gonna run back into this problem with trying to close deals, man. So in my mind, I see people with the hustle implementers hats on. I see people closing deals left and right, know how to negotiate, know how to create urgency, know what to do when that objection come up. I want people to be able to master that. So that's what, I ain't gonna lie, that's on my goals list. That's something that we talked about. You've been told me, hey bro, you need that community. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like we talking about right now, the course is cool. That's cool. The people got it. Went platinum in the streets. It's everywhere. But after that, it's like, to me, I'm not all the way fulfilled because I don't see these same faces all the time. I be wondering, damn, I wonder what they've been doing. I know they said they made 100K this month, but what if I can, get them on the call at least twice a month, or at least one time a week or something like that? What would that do? Or I probably could solve even more problems if I had a community. So I do agree with that. I think that one of my biggest goals for 2022, we're gonna start the Hustle Closers Academy, or Hustle Closers Community. One of them. I don't know which one it's gonna be yet. But one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach people how to close deals, man. Period. It's that simple. Ain't nobody gonna be colder than me because I put my heart into this. One thing I learned is when you put your heart into it, the results are always gonna come. That's just how it go. That's how it go, man. That's how it go.
Yeah, no doubt, man. They so some of my students in there and listen, they ride me because man, they be trying to make me cry in the coaching calls, man. Every once in a while, sometimes real brothers cry, man. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, you gotta let one ride off, man. You gotta let a couple tears drop and let them things ride off, man. So they always trying to. They said they got what I hear, man. I have this is what I hear, Keith. You know how they got the Jordan crying meme, man. They trying to catch me slipping, bro. They trying to catch me slipping and get a charged up crying meme, man.
They gonna catch you, man. They gonna catch you.
No doubt, bro. No doubt. So, and here's the thing, bro. I think, because here's the thing with sales, like what you teach, I think a community could definitely serve its purpose. because there's so many questions that come with the attachment of sales. You know, I saw somebody, let me find this, right? I saw somebody say this. I want to touch on this real quick because this is my guy. This is our guy. You know, Elijah fueling up a sales community. And that's kind of our point, even with this conversation. I never say, when people ask me, people hit me up all the time. Hey, Chris, why should I get your course? Or why should I join your community? Da, 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 da. Look, I'm not going to sell you on that. Right. And I'm not here to sell you on that. There's a lot of people out here that teach and have tangible information. Right. Obviously, I'm going to believe in what I've put behind, but Elijah's a great dude. Right. Keith knows that. That's Keith's guy. That's our guy. Elijah's our brother. And so that's why it's so important to find who you identify with. Right. Find who you identify with. It's not always that. And I think, Keith, this is a problem. I know we're running over time, but I think this is important. You know, people think that these different communities or courses have some magic pill or information in it. And it's not that in terms of the information. Sometimes the information, yes, can be different, right? It's really about the coach and the teacher. Can the person teach it to you in a way that if you receive it, you can actually retain it? And our retention level with different people doesn't have to always be the same. Like who I can hear and listen to doesn't have to be the same person you can hear and listen to. And so I think we all have a space, you know, really kind of, you know, in this community, man, at the end of the day. You know, I think we got, I like this, man. So this is a good question. Do you think that there should be a limit to the courses or communities that you buy into? What's your thoughts on that, bro?
I think you said a key thing a second ago. You got to buy into what identify with you. You know what I mean? Just like my guy just said, you know, about my bro Elijah, you know, we got two different type of styles. You know, we come from two different type of places. You may resonate with my bro more than you resonate with myself, or you may resonate with Chris more than you resonate with myself. You know what I mean? So I think that it's all about identifying which style, as far as teaching style, what resonates better with you. That's all it's about. You know what I mean? It's all about finding what you can identify yourself in, where you get the best results in. It ain't about me. It ain't really about, you know, Chris. It's about what that person, who they can identify with, so that way they can get the results that they're looking to get. So I think that you may join one community. I mean, I feel like you may need to join a second one, or maybe just see what's out there. I don't know. Because if you don't try nothing new, you ain't gonna know what's better. If that makes sense. So, but if you find something that you like and you love, it is a good thing if you stick with that, so that way that you can continuously get in that game. And I think that you can rise up if you do find the person that you resonate with. If you don't resonate with that person, I think it's cool to find another course or community. But if you can find what you're looking for, I will stick with that. I will ride it out, because one thing about a good coach, he always gonna get better. He always gonna learn new tricks. So, you know, it's not a bad thing if you stick with that person.
Yeah, and I want to touch on this, man. Shout out to Maurice. He's a student in my program, and he's been in there for a long time. He's doing his thing, you know, out in Cali. You know, a lot of the people that, you know, I have in my program that I've, for lack of better words, marketed to, right? Brought awareness of my brand and what I'm doing to, are people who haven't done their first deals, or they've done a couple of deals here and there, and they're really trying to grow and explode, you know, their business in full, right? And I do think that for people just getting started, you should always, in my opinion, choose a community. All right. And the reason I say that is because when I reflect back to when I started, Doug, like, you struggle with the things that you think you don't know. Even though you're learning, you're questioning yourself. You don't know that, or don't feel like you're making the right decisions. You feel like you need somebody to do this for you, and need somebody to do that for you. And that can be tough at the end of the day, right? And so a community can be a space that you can lean on, build solid quality relationships, you know, have accountability, have somebody that you can interact with and bounce things back and forth with. And I think that's, you know, something that's super, super important, and something that we got to be able to do as well. You know, so I got this question. Look, if you don't have Diddy's course, it's in the description of this video. So as soon as we end this video, right in the description, you can click the link, go get the Hustle Implementers course. If you want to join my program, all right, look, it's going to be in the description of this video. Go tap in with both of us. Join the community. Purchase the acquisition course. All right. Listen, I don't recommend everybody's product or service or whatever. What I can tell you legitimately is that key stuff is tight. And most importantly, more importantly than that, what I really appreciate about what you're doing, Keith, you know, the information you're putting out and you have in your course, man, is that it's in a receivable way. Like you're talking my language. You're talking in a way that I can hear it and understand it. You know, I've bought other sales courses. I've had different sales courses over the years, things of that nature. And the problem with a lot of them, right, is that like it's going like here. So it sounds good, it sounds fancy, but it's all the way up here, right? With yours is you know, it's like it's eye level, right? Like I can hear it and receive it. So listen, man, tell them real quick about your course. I'll tell them about my community, and I got another question before we wrap up.
Yeah, man, Mastering the Art of Acquisitions 101. Man, you know, when I put this course together, and people don't, you know, understand that I recorded the course one time. I went to San Antonio. I got around a lot of different gurus, and I went back home. I re-recorded the whole course in 24 hours. 24 hours. I got a total of 60 plus videos. 40 plus was new videos I recorded in 24 hours. We're talking about tonality, the 4 personality types, how to cold call, how to make an offer, how to make an offer when somebody else making an offer, how to run comps while you're on the phone, what's the setup that you need if you want to do it virtual, how to do price reductions, how to overcome objections, how to cold call. We're talking about how to even go through a script. So so many different things that's on this course. I don't care if you a vet, I don't care if you a rookie, you still gonna learn something from this course. I got live phone calls on the course and everything, man. So if you really looking to level up, it's a no-brainer. For me, it's been so much word of mouth about it that I don't even market it like I need to, because I let the people do it. You know what I mean? So if you're looking to get Master the Art of Acquisitions 101, go to my Instagram page. It's Real Estate Diddy, and all you got to do is click on Master Art of Acquisitions 101. Hit the link in my bio. It's that simple.
Yeah, shout out to Keith and from the U, man. He's got that course too. I've heard him talk about hustle implementers before. Man, I'm telling you, get the course. All right. I run Charge Up University. I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of students from across the country where I teach them how to get started in wholesale and how to take their wholesaling businesses and explode it. You know, we start with how to formulate and put a business together and how to correct mindset, and then take you from every single step all the way through. I tell all of my students, you know, Keith Sales course is extremely complimentary, you know, to my course, to really deep dive into sales, the art of acquisitions, and look, it's like steak and wine, bro. Like they just go together, right? Like they just go together. It's steak and wine, all right. So listen, if you want to get in a community with accountability, with hundreds of wholesalers, we've got a regional support with different regional team leaders across the country. I know a ton of my students are in here. Y'all throw those U's up. Let me see the lightning bolt. You know, tap in with the family, man. You know, we got a great community of people, of leadership. At the end of the day, integrity is first. You know, helping people move forward and get started in this business is the priority. Because look, man, we got catching up to do. We're trying to make some money and make different things happen. So y'all definitely tap in with that. Keith, let's close this up, man. I gotta ask you this question, bro. Gotta ask you this question. What is YouTube University, bro? Like, what the hell is people say that? What is that? Like, what is YouTube University, dog?
I think everybody, you know, YouTube University is, you know, when you first starting out or whatever. I mean, you could be in the game too. You know, when you're getting on YouTube, you're learning the game. You may watch your video 10, 15, 20 minutes. And now you think that you know it all. You don't need a mentor. You don't need a community because you're watching these videos on YouTube. And this is my personal opinion. But let me tell you something, man. One thing I learned is anytime, and I want y'all to take this away, this the takeaway of the night. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how nobody feel. Anytime that you're receiving some information for free, you ain't get all of it. You may have got enough to get you a couple deals. You may even got you enough to even change your life. But anytime you receive something for free, you didn't receive everything that you wanted to receive. That's just how it go. So in my personal opinion, for you to be able to get the full thing, the full model, eventually you're going to have to pay. You got to pay to play. The biggest risk is not taking a risk at all. It's cool to be on YouTube, but you got to understand something. YouTube is good to get started, to get you going. You may even get a couple deals. But for you to just level up, for you to scale up, YouTube University, I don't know if that's the place to do it. What you think, Chris?
Bro, you just dropped the bar, Doug. Yeah, I think you can get information from YouTube when it comes to learning something. I think that bad marketers put a bad name, in a sense, on the industry. And people have been burnt, bro, by buying course after course from all these different. I've got students, dog, that have, like, they'll talk to me and they've bought all these courses from all these people. They spend thousands and thousands of dollars. And, you know, I know that you and I both don't even charge that much for our product. We don't charge nearly what we should charge, really. And people get burnt. People get to a position where, you know, they feel taken advantage of. They feel like somebody has sold them something, or, you know, let them believe that they would buy something and this result would come, and it doesn't. And people get frustrated. And I think a lot of people just have turned to YouTube University, and this concept has been created where, oh, you could just learn it on YouTube, or you could just do this, you could just do that. You could just join this Facebook group. And that's not real, right? Yes, you could get some information. The problem I think though becomes is that when you do that, you get stuck trying to figure out how to connect the dots. And here's the thing about trying to figure out how to connect the dots. Can you do it? Perhaps. The truth of the matter though is connecting the dots takes time. It takes a lot of time. And I'm not somebody that's moving around thinking I got a whole bunch of time. The clock, bro, could run out any second. So I got to move at a little bit more speed. I got to move at a little bit more intensity to try to make the things happen that I want to make happen for myself and my family. You feel me? And I don't know that it would ever make sense to me on anything that I'm trying to learn at a high level. Now, I'm not talking about how to put together the new piece of furniture I bought or something like that, right? I'm talking about how to learn something tangible that can actually make me money. I think people make the mistake of getting stuck in YouTube University, getting stuck in these Facebook groups. I think it's a starting point, right? Like, you got to make sure that you even want to know about the business. You got to make sure the business even kind of makes sense to you. But once you get it and you're like, hey, this is something I want to make happen, my personal opinion, you need to go find a coach ASAP. Like, you need to go find a mentor, somebody can really teach you this thing, ASAP. So, I mean, we're definitely on the same page with that. What I would do, Keith, is I think we got to challenge people tonight before we get out of here. I'm challenging people, and I know you are too, and I want to hear your thoughts on this to close it out. But I'm challenging people to go out at the end of the day. Like, y'all need to go out. We're at the end of the year. Think about how fast this year is going by. Like, it's nearly 2022. Some people keep in the exact same spot they were in this time last year, dog. So I'm challenging y'all. I don't care if you buy my product or not. My students are in here. They can speak to the success of my product. They can speak to the impact of my product. I don't even got to do all that. Keith, my students can speak to it. His students can speak to it. He don't even got to do all that. The challenge really is the end of the year. We got to start moving things forward and going after the things that we want. If y'all are watching this and you're in the same spot you were in 12 months ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, you're moving too slow. This shit getting ready to pass you by. Your chances of getting ahead, I'm sorry, but they're starting to get smaller and smaller. You might not know that, but I can tell you from where I'm at, I'm not where I want to even be at, but I can tell you from here, being a little bit further ahead, those chances, that window is closing. Like you've seen that movie, right, Keith? Like the guy's trying to action movie, the garage door's closing and he's trying to slide before it fully closes. That's life right now. So you can make a decision. Go find the topic. Go find the industry that you want to get in. Turo, credit, whatever. Keith, you could probably name some too. Go figure out who you want to learn from, who you feel like makes sense for you, who you feel like can help you. What I care more about for the culture, Doug, it's not my product, because I actually do the business, right? I'm gonna be fine either way. You actually do the business, you're gonna be fine either way, whether somebody buys our product or not. What I do care about is the advancement of the culture. Now's the time to stop playing games and take steps forward and go create the things that you deserve. But you got to take action to do so. I'm gonna leave it on that, Keith, bro. Like, what's your thoughts? I guess.
Man, I definitely agree with that, man. You know, we got 2 months left in the year. I feel like that, you need to do something that you didn't do this year. A lot of y'all got to keep it real with yourself. You've been bullshitting kind of this year. You probably were scared to hop in, or buy a course or go to an event or even get into a community because you was wondering, was it worth it? But until you get to the point that you rather take a loss than you being comfortable and not taking no steps at all, you're going to always be at the same place, man. And I'm going to go deeper than that. You got to think about it like this. One thing about it, at the end of the day, if you look at all entrepreneurs, they had to take losses. They had to go forward and they had to come back again. They had to go network with other people to get the game. Everybody got the same story, but different paths. So if that ain't your path yet, you more trying to be conservative. Oh, I'm just going to try to learn on my own. Guess what? None of us do. I'm still getting game from people. Chris still getting game from people. So if we made millions of dollars thus far, what makes you feel like you ain't got to get no game from people? What makes you so comfortable? Knowing that you ain't got the results that you want for your own life. Why are you scared to take a risk then? I don't understand that. So I challenge everybody, man, before this year is over, make whether it's a big investment or a small investment. It ain't even got to be in real estate. It ain't got to be my course or Chris community, whatever you're looking to do. But I challenge you to go find the person, the course, or the community or event that resonates with you looking to do for your own life, man. At the end of the day, even if I wanted everybody to get into my course or the community I end up starting, or Chris's community or whatever, it ain't gonna happen anyway. But I think the most important thing is you realizing that you gotta get off your ass and go do something if you want the results to come. I think that's just how it go. There's nothing else to be said after that.
Facts. Keith, it can't get no realer than this conversation, man. Most people don't want to get up here and say that they making money online, or they don't want to be real about what this stuff really looks like. Look, man, we gotta, as leaders, we gotta be the ones, that's why we even want to start doing this, right? We're not podcast guys. We ain't YouTube guys. We ain't computer guys. All right. We guys that care. We care about the culture. We care about people. We want to see people advance and move forward at the end of the day. And that's really what this whole thing is about. That's why we're taking time on Wednesday nights, week to week, to try to help hand this thing out and get this game into people's hands, man. Keith, love you, my brother. You know that. Let's stay.
My brother, much love. You already know it. You already know it, man. You know how we rock it, man. This is just the beginning, though. That's the scary part. This is only the beginning of it.
Facts, man. What I want you to do, because I'm feeling the merch. All right. The shirt is tight. The hat is tight. The Closers Olympics is starting. All right. It's like, I don't know who's lighting the torch for the Olympic Games, but everybody always loves that opening ceremony of the Olympics. I want you to talk about the Closers Olympics. And I think now might be a good time. And I don't know if my info is mistaken, but now might be a good time. I hear that you guys just recently added another judge or something. What's going on?
Yeah, man. So, we actually had you know, the legendary, you know, my guy Sean Terry. You know, he been sick a little bit, so you know, he was supposed to be, you know, one of the judges, but you know, everybody kept saying, "What about Chris Jefferson? What about Chris Jefferson?" All I kept hearing, "What about Chris Jefferson?" Well, guess what? He will be in the building not only all day Saturday, but a little bit half of the day on Friday. He will be one of the judges for the 2021 Closers Olympics. Some of y'all probably be thinking, what is the Closer Olympics? Guess what? It's an online event. We had it last year. It's the second annual one. It's only what? I think it's $97. It's the biggest, the largest, the only sales competition, cold calling competition in history. It's the only sport we got. You got 12 guys going to be coming together, and they're going to be seeing who has the best skill set, who can close the most deals, who ain't going to get scared when that clock start running, who going to come home and have that closer's belt and going to have the bragging rights. If you're interested in seeing that for 3 whole days, if you're in real estate, it ain't no reason why you ain't at this event. If you're in car sales, there's no reason you ain't at this event, because you got 12 guys that's going to be putting all their skill sets on the line. It's not only going to be competing, but it's going to be a massive education experience. If that's something that you want to get into this weekend, if you're looking to level up, closersolympics.com. Go grab your ticket, man. I'll see y'all on Friday. Let's get it.
Hey, man, listen, I'm excited to jump in and take part with you guys, man, in the Closers Olympics. You know, you guys that are putting on, you guys are my brothers, man. I love you guys. You guys got a lot of great women behind y'all that are helping y'all pump this thing out. I know it's taking, look, Elijah I is in there running meetings, man. I know that guy he's wicked with those Zoom links.
Yeah.
He'll send a Zoom link out in the calendar alert fast. So I know you guys have been working crazy hard, man, putting this thing together. You fam, show some support. If y'all are excited to see me pop up and judge, you family, man, let me know in the comments that's what y'all wanted. The guys hit me up, say, Chris, look, man, the people keep saying, where are you at? Why are you not in this thing? Why are you not judging? Why are you not speaking on it? What's happening? And so I'm excited to jump in. You know, like Keith said, man, Keith, I think you and I kind of identify so much because we love the art of sales, right? Like we just love the art of sales. I'm excited to see these conversations. I agree, man. You don't have to be in real estate to follow and watch this over the next couple of days, truth be told, because sales is sales at the end of the day. The tactics, the nuances, the little things that you got to learn and get really good at with sales will work across any sales business, you know, when you really kind of cut it down. So I'm excited to be involved, man. I'm looking forward to me popping in for a bit on Friday. I'll be there all day for the whole day on Saturday judging. So it's going to be lit. The U is going to be in the building. All right. All of my students, man, I'm going to be posting information for you guys tomorrow so that you guys can get in the building and check out this event, because I want y'all to get this game. And you know, if it's coming from me, it's something that you need to check out, because I don't just tell y'all to do anything. All right. So go to closersolympics.com. That's with an S, closersolympics.com. All right. Get a ticket. If you're one of my students, I'm going to post the information for y'all tomorrow inside of our private group. All right. So that you guys can get registered and signed up as well. Because I know the U fam is going to be in the building. All right. I'm going to be judging. And Keith, I'm going to be giving some real feedback, bro. Like I'm going to be, I mean, you know my vibes, bro. You know, I keep it real, bro. If it's, you know what I mean? I'm
we need to hear that. We got to hear that, man. You know, I'm looking forward. You know, I asked, one of the judges today. You know, I was testing her. You know, Christina Aguilera. I said, "Who your top 3 in the event? Who you want to see?" She a judge. She said, "Listen, man, I can't say that to you." She said, "I'm looking for skill set." I said, "You know what? That's the best answer I can hear. That's all I ask. Keep it fair, and just judge off the skill set, and everything else gonna come to pass."
Yo, absolutely, bro. Absolutely, man. So look, let's sign off this thing. We went a little bit over. We had some technical difficulties in the beginning, but look, we're gonna be here next Wednesday. We're gonna keep pushing. Keith, they saying we're gonna figure the echo out. We're gonna get that smooth. Keith, they saying you look sharp, man. They say your skin look beautiful. All right. They say the merch looks amazing. The beard is glowing. You know what I mean? All right. So they loving the camera quality this week, man. They loving it. Keith, man, my God, let's stay tapped in, bro. Let's keep this thing pumping. Much love, brother.
Much love, man. Much love.
All right, y'all. Much love. Peace.